Good morning and welcome to my class. I'm Ms. Vandana Gupta, Assistant Professor of Mathematics. So we are in our last topic of the last unit. That is Unit 5, Elementary Probability Distribution. In that, we have seen two types of probability distributions, discrete and continuous. Discrete, there are two kinds of probability distribution which we have learned, that is binomial and Poisson. In continuous, uh, you have to study only normal distribution. So yesterday I have started with normal distribution and I have also given you the properties of normal curve. So today we are going to use those properties to solve the problems. So let me quickly revise the normal distribution. So as you know that binomial and Poisson distribution, the probability density function or probability mass function of binomial function is given by this formula. And for Poisson, it is given by this. The formula were very, not very difficult one. So you can just put the value and get the answer for the probability. But in case of normal distribution or continuous type of distribution, the probability density function is this. So if X is a random variable which follows the normal distribution, then its probability density function is given by this formula, which looks to be very, very complicated one. Okay. Where, mu is the mean and sigma is the standard deviation. So in order to find out the probability, what we do, we find out the, we use the graph method. Okay. So we will find out the graph of this function. As you know that any function can be plotted on the graph paper. So when you draw the graph of this function, it gives you a curve, and that curve is called as a normal curve. So what are the properties of normal curve? The first one is that the normal curve is a bell-shaped curve. The shape of the curve is like a bell, okay? And it is symmetric about the line x equal to mu. If it's the line x equal to mu, mu is the mean, okay? Symmetric meaning what? The area to the left side is equal to area to the right side. That means when you fold this on this line, these two parts will fit exactly on each other. Or in other words, you can say that the area of the side which is to the left side of the line x equal to mu is same as area to the right side. That is the meaning of the symmetry. Okay, so this area is same as this area to the right side. Okay, both the areas are same. So this is the first property. Second property is for a normal distribution, mean, median, mode, all are equal. And standard deviation is denoted by sigma, as you know that. And mean deviation is given by square root of 2 upon pi into sigma. This is not very important property. So I've just given you here, but we are not going to use it much. Then the normal curve comes closer to the x-axis as x moves away from mean. Okay, you see that this curve is coming very, very close to x. As you move your x, the curve is coming close to the x-axis in both the directions. But it will not touch the x-axis. It will come close to the x-axis, but will not touch the x-axis. And the next property was the total area under the normal curve is unity. Unity means 1. Okay, in mathematics, we call 1 as unity. And see, the total area is 1, and this is the line of symmetry, x equal to mu. That means the area to the left side of the line and area to the right side of the line will be same. And the total area is 1. So each of this area is 0.5. So that is how I have indicated here. Okay. Next one. Probability that a normal variate x lies between two variables a and b. If you want to calculate the probability that x is between a and b, how to calculate that? So it is equal to area under the curve between the points x equal to a and x equal to b. Because your x is a continuous variate, with respect to every value of x, you have a point on the real line. Okay. So to find out the probability that x is between a and b, what you have to do, you have to see where is a, where is b, and then you have to take this area. Okay. Now the question comes how to find out the area. Okay, it is not very easy to calculate the area. So for our conveniency, the areas are already calculated and given in a tabular form. Okay, and that table is called as a normal table. If you have the book, at the end of the book you can see the normal table. Okay, like how do you have the log table? Those who have studied logarithm in their junior college or school days, they may be aware of that. Or sine, cosine, so everybody knows. Square of a function, square root of square of a number, square root of a number. So all these things are tabulated, and is a small note kind of book is available in the market that is called as a log book. Okay, so in that log, well, similarly you have a normal table also. In the log book, all these tables are available. For your conveniency, it is given in the at the end of the book. But you don't have to worry, because in exam the areas will be already provided to you. Okay, so you don't have to worry about the table and all. Okay, so to calculate the probability between the 2 points, you have to see the area under the normal point. This is a very important property which we are going to use for solving our problems. Now, if you see that for different values of mean and the standard deviation, you will have so many curves. Okay, so how many areas they will provide? It is not possible. Each problem will have different mean and different variance, different standard deviation. Okay, so what is done? Um, they have defined a term called as standard normal variate. What is standard normal variate? And the areas in the table are given only for standard normal variate. So a normal variate with mean equal to 0 and standard deviation equal to 1. Such a normal variate is called as standard normal variate. So what is a standard normal variate? A normal variate जिसका मीन 0 होता है और स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन 1 होता है, उसको स्टैंडर्ड नॉर्मल वेरिएट बोलते हैं. ठीक है, तो यू सी दैट हमारा जो प्रोबेबिलिटी मास फंक्शन था, सॉरी प्रोबेबिलिटी डेंसिटी फंक्शन जो था f के लिए, आई मीन फॉर द नॉर्मल वेरिएट x, it was given by this formula, correct? F of x is equal to, in the right in the beginning I have told you that 1 upon square root of 2 pi into sigma e raised to minus x minus mu upon sigma whole square. Okay, so this looks very complicated. So what we do here, if you standardize your normal variate by taking mean as 0 and standard deviation as 1, you put here mu equal to 0 and sigma equal to 1. So you will get an x equal to z. Standard normal variate is denoted by z. Okay, that is what I have written here. So in place of x, if you put z, f of z, and in place of sigma 1, you will get 1 upon square root of 2 pi, and e raised to minus x minus mu is 0 and sigma is 1. So you will get minus z square by but I think it is 2 here. So e raised to minus x minus mu d whole square divided by 2 into sigma square. Wait a minute, let me just make a correction here. By mistake I have written that. So the correction, let me make the correction. It is e raised to minus x minus mu square divided by 2 sigma square. It is like that. Okay. So when you put sigma equal to 1 and mu equal to 0, you will get an x equal to z. You will get e raised to minus z square upon. Okay. So for the standard normal variate, the probability mass function is given by f of z equal to 1 upon square root of 2 pi into e raised to minus z square upon 2. In this formula, you are putting x equal to z, mu equal to 0, and sigma equal to 1. X is equal to z, mu equal to 0, and sigma equal to 1. Okay, so you will get the probability mass function of the standard normal variate. Now this was looking quite a simplified version. So in the table, you will get the areas under this function, and this function is plotted on the graph paper, and the areas are available for the standard normal variate only. Okay, so for all our practical purpose to solve the problem, we will have to convert our given x into the standard normal variate. Okay, I will show you how to do that. So To find the probability of a normal variate x, for a normal variate x, we convert x into standard normal variate by the transformation z equal to x minus mu upon sigma. So in all our problems, we are going to convert x to the z, that is standard normal variate. Why we are doing this conversion? Because in the table, we are given the area only for the standard normal variate. That's the reason. Okay. So I have quickly just given you the what we have done in the last class. Now let me solve the problems. So let us begin with a very, very simple problem. So first problem. Also, one more thing I forgot to mention, that also I will mention here. If x follows a normal distribution, this is a note here. If x follows a normal distribution with mean equal to mu and standard deviation equal to sigma, it is written as, so in so if x follows a normal distribution with mean equal to mu and standard deviation equal to sigma, then in symbolic way, it is written as this notation. So whenever you see such a notation in any book, that means that x follows n for normal distribution. Whatever is written here in the bracket first place, that is the mean, and whatever is written in the second place, that is the standard deviation. So this is a notation to say that x follows a normal distribution with mean mu and standard deviation sigma. So some books are using this type of notation also. Okay, so let us go to the problem. So let me take the first problem. If x is a normal variate with mean equal to 40, mean equal to 40 and standard deviation equal to 8. Find out what is the probability of x greater than or equal to 42. Second one, probability of x less than or equal to 39. And third, probability of x is between 37 and 41. Okay. So you are given here that x is a normal variate with mean equal to 40 and standard deviation equal to 8. You have to find out what is the probability that x is greater than or equal to 42. And second one, probability of x less than or equal to 39. And third one, probability of x between 37 and 41. Let us see how to calculate this problem, these probabilities. Okay. So what is given to you in this problem? Solution. What is given to you? That mean is equal to 40 and standard deviation is 8. So mean, that means mu is equal to 40 and standard deviation, which is sigma, that is equal to 8. Equal to 8. So this is what is given to me. Sigma is 8 and mu is 40. And what I have to find out? I have to find out the first one. Let us take the first one. Probability of x greater than or equal to 42. Probability of x greater than or equal to 42. Correct? 42. Yes. So as I told you, in all our problems, we have to convert the x into z. Okay. So what we will do, we will convert x into the standard normal variate z by the transformation. You remember the last property, as I told you, by the transformation z equal to x minus mu upon sigma. We will convert x into z in all our problems. The reason, because we are the areas are available only for the curve of standard normal variate only. That's the reason. Okay. So here, so we will convert z into x minus mu is what? 40. X minus 40 upon sigma is 8. Okay. So let us do that. So probability of x is converted to z. So x minus mu upon sigma greater than or equal to, same transformation you apply to the other side. Okay. So which is equal to probability of x minus mu upon sigma, we call it as z. So I have converted x into z. That is equal to 42 minus, what is mu? Mu is 40. 42 minus 40 divided by sigma is 8, which is same as probability of z greater than or equal to, what is 42 minus 40 upon 8? It is 2 upon 8, correct? And what is 2 upon 8? So 2 upon 8 will give you 0.25. Okay. So what we have done, we have, in all our problem, we are going to convert x into z by this transformation. So to find out probability of x greater than or equal to 42 is same as finding the probability of z greater than or equal to 0.25. Okay. So by the transformation, x minus mu upon sigma, same thing you do on the right side, 42 minus mu upon sigma. This is nothing but z, and put the value of mu and sigma. So mu is 40 and sigma is 8. So 42 minus 40 upon 8, that is 2 upon 8, and that is 0.25. So probability of z greater than or equal to 0.25. Okay. Now what you have to do, let us look at the where will be this point. So let us draw our normal curve. Okay. So this line is actually x equal to mu, but we have converted x into z. So this line is z equal to 0 because standard normal variate mean is 0. Okay. So this is the line z equal to 0. Now where will be the point 0.25? 0 is here. So 0.25 will be somewhere at the right side. So here, somewhere here. Roughly you can, by somewhere the point will be to the right side. Suppose this is my point 0.25. So I have to find out probability of z greater than or equal to 0.25. That means what I have to do, I have to take the area of the curve to the right side of this. Z greater than or equal to 0.25. So it is equal to area under the normal curve for z greater than or equal to 0.25. So this is equal to area under the normal curve for z greater than or equal to 0.25. Look at our property. Which property I am applying here? See here, this property. Probability of x between a and b is given by area under the curve between a and b. Now here we don't have between, we have only x greater than or equal to 0.25. So this property I am applying here. So to find out the probability of z greater than or equal to 0.25, you have to first locate where will be 0.25. So 0 is here. So 0.25 will be somewhere to the right side. Okay. So suppose this is my point 0.25. I have to find out the area probability of z greater than or equal to 0. Greater than means to the right side. So that is equal to area under the curve for which z is greater than or equal to 0. So this is the one which I have shaded here, I mean with the lines. Okay. Now how will you find out this area? You see here z equal to 0 is the line of symmetry. So the entire area to the right side of this, see, as you know that if is the line of symmetry and the total area is 1, so the entire area to the right side of z equal to 0 is 0.5. Okay, so somehow if you know the area, this area, then from 0.5, if you subtract this area, you will get the area after 0.25. So let us see what I'm writing here. Try to understand this. So this is equal to 0.5 minus area between z equal to 0 and z equal to 0.25. Once again, I'm explaining you. Try to understand this. See, I have to find out the area which I have shaded here, means after 0.25. How will I get this area? This area will be same as, I know the total area. Let me use another pen, another color here, say blue color. See, I know this entire area to the right side of this, that is 0.5. You know that. Okay, one of our property, because this is the line of symmetry. So the entire area I know 0.5. If somehow I know, if I can find out the area, this area, only this much. Let me just use another color here. Somehow, if I can find out, this area between 0 and 0.25, then if I subtract from 0.5 the area between 0 and 0.25, I will get this area. Okay, so that is what I have written. Area under the normal curve for z greater than or equal to 0.25 means this red color one. It is equal to the entire area, which I am showing it with blue color, that is 0.5 minus area between 0 and 0.25. Now this area between 0 and 0.25, it will be given to you in the normal table. So I'm giving you that this area will be already given to you in exam. Okay, so in the table, all the areas from 0 to any number that is given to you. Okay, so this area between 0 and 0.25, it is given to you. So it is 0.5 minus area between 0 and 0.25. Let me just take the table and show you what is that area. So between 0 and 0.25. So this area is 0.987. 0.987. It will be given to you. Okay, in the normal table, all the areas from 0 to any number that is given to you. Okay, so find out that. So it is 0.5 minus 0.987. So this answer is 0. Wait a minute. It is not 9. It is 0. Wait a minute. 0.25. 0.25. 0.0987. 0987. So it is, the answer will be 0.5 minus 0.0987. 0.4013. So the answer is 0.401. This is the answer. Okay. So you should be able to visualize the things here. That is the only thing, how to find out the area. 401. Okay, so that means the probability that x is greater than or equal to 42 is 0.401. Let me take another problem so that, see, more problems you solve, things will become more clear. Let us take the second one. In the second one, what you have to find out? Probability of x less than or equal to 39. Probability of x less than or equal to 39. This you have to find out. So what you will do as before, you will convert x into z. So what we will do, it is probability of x minus mu upon sigma less than or equal to 39 minus mu upon sigma. Same as x minus mu upon sigma is z. We have converted x into z. 39 minus mu is what? Mu is 40, correct? Given to you, mu is 40 and sigma is, mu is 40 and sigma is 8. 8. So you will get this, which is equal to probability of z less than or equal to, what is 39 minus 40 upon 8? Calculate that. So what will you get? It will be minus 0.125. Minus 0.125. Divided by 8. Now what you have to do, to find out the probability of z less than or equal to minus 0.125, what you have to do, you have to first plot it on the normal curve where this point will come. Okay, so draw the normal curve. A lot of disturbance is coming. So let us draw the normal curve now. So this is the point z equal to 0. Okay, where will be 0.125? It is minus 0.125, they are saying, correct? Look at here. It is minus 0.125. So minus will be to the left side. In the previous problem, you got plus 0. So it was to the right side. Now here we are getting minus 0.125. So it will be somewhere to the left side. So somewhere here, you can say that this is minus 0.125. Okay. Let me write down it very neatly. This is z equal to 0. And here somewhere there will be point minus 0.125. Now to find out probability of z less than or equal to this, less than means which side we have to see? To the left side. So which area we want? We want this area. Okay. So it is equal to area under the normal curve for z less than or equal to minus 0.125. Okay, this. Now apply the same logic. What logic? Or the property. What is that property? It says that if you want this area, then that is equal to, let me first write down, then I will explain you that. Okay, this is equal to 0.5 minus area between z equal to 0 and z equal to 0.125. Let me use different colors to show you that. Okay. See, this is the line of symmetry. So the entire area to the left side, this all area up to here, it is 0.5. This green color. Okay. The entire area to the left side of z equal to 0, it is 0.5. We have seen in one of the property. Okay. Because the total area under the normal curve is 1 and this is the line of symmetry. So the entire area to the left side of z equal to 0 is 0.5. And I want the area to the left side of 0.125. So if from this entire area 0.5, if I subtract the area between z equal to 0 and z equal to minus 0.125, I will get this area. Okay. So area between z equal to 0 and z equal to minus 0.125. It is not plus, it is minus. And z equal to, let me use the same pen, z equal to minus 0.125. But as you know that the curve is symmetric, so area between z equal to 0 and z equal to minus 0.125, will be same as area between z equal to 0 and z equal to plus 0.125. See, because this curve is symmetric, so whatever is the area between 0 and minus 0.125 will be same as the area between z equal to 0 and plus 125. This area and this area will be same. Why? Because the line, because this is the line of symmetry. We, in our table, normal table, the areas are available only for, only between z equal to 0 and any positive number, not for negative numbers. So if you are getting a negative number here, even though it is negative, the area between z equal to 0 and minus 1.25, this area will be same as this area between 0 and plus 1.1, because of the line symmetry at point z, symmetry at the line z equal to 0. And this area will be given to you by the or you can find out from the table, but in exam it will be already given to you. So the area between z equal to 0 and z equal to 0 0.125, 0 0.125, it is 0 0.0517, 0517, 0517. This will be given to you in exam. So let us calculate that, how much you are getting. So 0 0.5 minus 0 0.0517. So the answer is 0 0.448. Correct. So only thing is that you must be able to visualize the things. Some geometry you have to apply. Okay. So this is how we get the probability of x less than or equal to 39. Let us see the next one. What is the last one? Third, probability that x is between 37 and 41. Third. Probability that x is between 37 and 40. How are you going to do this? As before, we are going to convert x into z. So x, whatever the this transformation we are going to use. So 37 minus mu upon sigma less than or equal to x minus mu upon sigma less than or equal to 41 minus mu upon sigma. Now put the values. Your mu is 40 and sigma is 8. This x minus mu upon sigma is z, and this is 41 minus 40 upon 8. Find out what is that. 37 minus 40 upon 8. How much? It is minus 0.375. So it is, let us continue. So 37 minus 40 upon 8, that is 0.375 minus 0.375 less than or equal to z, less than 41 minus 40 upon 8. So 41 minus 40 is 1, and 1 divided by 8 will give you 0.125. Okay, which is equal to area. If you want to find out the probability, it is same as area under the normal curve between z equal to minus 0.375 and z equal to 0.125. Now draw the normal curve. Okay, look at here. This is z equal to 0. Where will be 0.125 to the right side? Somewhere here. 0.125. Where will be minus 0.375? It will be somewhere to the left side. I want to find out the area, the probability that z is between minus 0.375 and 0.125. That means what area I want? I want this area. This entire area I want. Okay, so it is, that means the area under the normal curve between z equal to minus 0.375 and z equal to 0.125. What I'm going to do, this entire area will be same as area between z equal to 0 and minus 0.375 and area between 0 and 0.127. So this is equal to area between z equal to 0 and z equal to minus 0.375 plus area between z equal to 0 and z equal to 0.125. See, if I want this entire area from here to here, this area I can break up into two parts. Area between z equal to 0 and minus 0.375. That means which area? This portion between 0 and 0.375. And plus area between 0 and 0.1. This one. If I find out this area and add them, I'll get the area from minus 0.375 to 0.125. Okay. Why I have done this? Because in my normal table, I am only given the areas from z equal to 0 to a positive number. Okay. That's the reason I have to do that. Okay. Directly you will not be given. You are given only the areas from 0. Now, what is area between z equal to 0 and minus 0.375? It will be same as area between z equal to 0 and plus 0.375 because of the symmetry. And that is given to me as in the from the table. I can find out that. So, area between 0 and 0.375. 0.375, it is given at 0.1480. 0.1480. This is given to you. 1480. And this area between 0 and 0.125. That is also given to you. 0.0517. 0517. Okay. I'm looking in the table and writing here, but in exam you will be given the area. Now you add that. So what is the answer? 0.1480. 0.1480 plus 0.0517. That gives you 0.1997. So the answer for the probability that x is between 37 and 41 is 0.1997. Correct. Just check the answer from the book. It is correct. Okay. So we have seen today how to use the properties of normal distribution to solve our problem. The very important thing is what? Convert x into z. The very first step. How we are going to convert? By the transformation x minus mu upon sigma. Mu is mean, sigma is standard deviation. So you will be given in the problem. Mean diya rahega, standard deviation diya rahega. So that is what I have done. Okay. So finally x converted into z and you get this. Now to find out this probability, you have to draw the normal curve. Draw karna padega. And then you will have to see that the probability that z is between these two numbers, here, and see where these numbers will be. Okay. So minus 0.375 roughly you have to draw. Okay, scale वगैरह लेने की जरूरत नहीं है. So minus 0.375 will be roughly to the left side somewhere here, and 0.125 will be here. So you have to basically, what you have to do is you have to find the area from minus 0.375 to this entire area you have to find. But because in our table the areas are only available from 0 to a positive number, so what we will do, this entire area we will break into two parts. See, that is what I have written. Area under the normal curve between 0.375 and 0.125, I have broken into two parts. Area between 0 and minus 0.375 plus area between 0 and plus 0.125. Now, the area between 0 and minus 0.375 will be same as area between 0 and plus 0.375 because of the symmetry. The same thing we did in the previous problem. 0 and minus 0.125 will be same as area between 0 and plus 1.125 because of the symmetry. Okay. So, and plus area between 0 and 0.125. And this area will be given to you between 0 and 0.375. It is 0.1480 and this is 0.0517. Add them, you will get the answer. Okay. So today we have seen how to solve the or how to find out the probability of a normal variate by using the properties of normal distribution. So once this area concept is clear to you, you can solve any problem. Okay. So I think we will stop here, and in the next lecture, we will continue. We'll take some more problems. Today there is a tutorial. All of you please attend the tutorials. More problems we will discuss there. Okay. So thank you.